Hey folks, how's it going? I'm Josh. We're watching Mitchell and Webb Conspiracy Theories. Man, hopefully you guys had a really good weekend, man. Last week was a really long week. I'm looking forward to like this week being like a new start. Just so much was going on last week. It was so busy for me, work, all that jazz. So I know it's late. It is 8 p.m. for me. So most people who are going to watch this, I think, is 6 hours later. So a lot of people probably won't get a chance to watch it, except for the people who are the subscribers I have that are American. Most UK people might be in bed now. I think you guys might be in bed unless you like to stay up a little later. Yeah. So yeah, man. Let's just go ahead and jump into it.
So, as you know, we've just discovered that there are aliens because of that spaceship with aliens in that crashed, and they've got super advanced technology, and it's all massively frightening.
So, what's the plan?
Well, keep it all a complete secret from everybody, if at all possible.
Yes, of course. Although, why?
Well, if everybody knew that there were aliens, they might try and help us research or defend against them.
Why don't we want that?
Just general sort of, well, it's nice to have secrets, isn't it?
Plus, the government is very keen that nobody should blame them for there being aliens.
Would people do that?
Well, they will when the aliens invade and they find out that we've known all along and could have been enlisting support all over the world in an effort to defend against them. There'll be hell to pay then, so...
Yeah, cross that bridge when we come to it. In the meantime, let's keep the existence of aliens, which is in no way our fault, or, at this point, exclusively our problem, a complete secret.
How?
Well, we did catch a break there, actually. Fortunately, the aliens landed somewhere very remote, which is also a well-known top-secret army base.
Thank God for that. So we can hide away the dead aliens in that facility. We can also do an autopsy on them there and not tell anyone the results.
Yes, and just to make sure that nobody ever finds out, we should film it.
Agreed.
Is there any other way that people can find out? I mean, between now and the alien invasion for which we'll leave the world unprepared.
Well, they do keep abducting people for weird sex.
Oh dear, well, the compelling nature of the evidence those people are going to come back to Earth with is something we can do nothing about.
Yes, well, we'll just have to pray that by good fortune there continue to be no independent witnesses.
The other problem is that quite a few excellent black and white photographers have pictures of what can pretty much only be spaceships.
I hate to be a skeptic.
Black and white fuzzy photos.
Why are we doing any of this?
Well, it doesn't really make sense, does it? But it's just the sort of thing that generally governments do. So, we're all agreed that that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely. It's so simple. No messing around with poison-tipped umbrellas or snipers. We just get a chauffeur drunk.
Slightly drunk.
And assume that he'll crash the car.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my Princess Diana.
As long as we pay for a bunch of motorcycling photographers to harass him, I'm sure that'll happen.
And the good news is that only involves swearing another 15 or so people to perpetual silence.
Yes. Plus, people always die in car crashes, don't they?
Yes, always. And people who drive over the limit always crash. What we're organising here, my friends, is a watertight hit. My only worry is that it'll look so much like a murder that people will suspect.
Well, that is the risk we run by doing it this way. It will be totally obvious that it's an assassination. But remember what the Duke of Edinburgh said when he came in here to MI6 to give us our orders. I don't mind carrying the lifelong suspicion of murder on my shoulders, as long as you kill her in such a way that absolutely nothing can go wrong.
Induced tipsy car crash it'll have to be then. It simply can't fail. Unless she wears a seatbelt.
No. She won't. She's unprovably pregnant, remember? Women recently impregnated by the only man they've ever loved are notoriously slapdash about their personal safety.
So, Dart, you're our best troubleshooter. Is there anything that we've missed?
I've just got one little niggle. Why are we doing this?
Well, because Prince Philip told us to. It's well known that the nation's security services are still pretty much at the beck and call of the royal family. This is top priority. The IRA can do whatever they like this weekend, let me tell you.
And why is he doing it?
Well, because she's so popular. She's beautiful and everyone loves her. We need to kill her now so that people will go off her.
Of course.
I mean, just think about it. If she's left alive to age as gracefully as one can while bringing up the bastard grandchild of a delusional Egyptian businessman, then the public's just going to love her more and more.
You're quite right. As her appearance wrinkles and sags, and she occasionally makes a vacuous remark about something complicated, people's hatred for the rest of the royal family will only intensify.
Whereas, if she's dead, she'll be forgotten in a week.
Yes, of course. You've made me feel very naive.
Oh my god.
Hello? Oh. Life imitating art, I suppose. Right. Well, thank you. Well, you can stand down, everyone. That all just happened by accident.
Well, don't tell Prince Philip. We'll still get our fee.
Oh my god.
Wouldn't it be great to make everyone think we'd landed on the moon? That'd show the Soviets.
What would it show them?
Well, they'd think we'd landed on the moon and they'd be all afraid. Do this right and the Cold War could be over by 1971.
Why don't we just release the footage of the Mars landings?
No, it's vitally important that we keep the successful mission to Mars a secret. But I've got a hunch that if we pretend to have landed on the moon, that will be in some way intimidating.
Will people believe us?
Oh, I'm sure they will, to the extent that we won't even need to bother to pay much attention to detail with regard to flags and shadows and so on. Dart, you're the top spy in the Secret Service when it comes to misleading footage. What do you suggest?
Well, to start with, of course, we'll need to build a massive rocket.
Why? We're not actually going to the moon. Sorry, I thought that was the point. Have I got this wrong?
We'll need a massive rocket because the first question people will ask when we show them the footage of the moon will be, how did you get there? So we'll have to be able to say, we went in that massive rocket you saw.
So we're not actually going to make any kind of saving in terms of the cost of a massive rocket?
No, but we will be making a saving on the cost of actually going to the moon.
True. And what costs are involved in actually going to the moon?
Well, the main one, to be honest, is the massive rocket.
Any others?
Well, other than that, it's mainly catering.
So we'll make a saving on that?
Well, no. In fact, it'll probably be more expensive to cater for an entire film crew for the duration of a shoot than it would be to feed 3 astronauts.
So, I'm just wondering, we'll still have to build the massive rocket capable of going to the moon?
We will have to do that, yes.
So I was just thinking, if we've built the moon rocket, might it not be cheaper to just pop to the moon and fake the footage there?
Fake the footage of the fake moon landing on the moon? What if people found out?
That's a risk we're just going to have to take.
This is a shit on every conspiracy theory. Oh, man. I'm glad I knew the Princess Diana one, man, because I would have been lost. Only reason I guess I can give Elmo credit for that, too, because he the one told me about, like, the Kennedy assassination, Princess Diana. He was obsessed with this stuff. I talked about it in another video a while ago. I think it was a while ago. How long ago? I don't remember. I always lose track. But it was a guy who I work with who was obsessed with conspiracy theories. And he talked about, like, the Kennedy assassination. He was talking about, like, Princess Diana, like, just all this stuff. He was super into the stuff. And at the end of the day, I've said this before, it's interesting. And it's like one of those guilty pleasures. Like, I like to watch Ancient Aliens and stuff like that. But I really don't think that we're alone, but I really don't think we have any proof. Just because, like, especially if anybody explains to you, like, how we're barely, like, essentially, if we be broadcasting, they have to have their stuff set up to pick up the same frequency, and essentially we're sending our stuff back in time, because by the time the radio signals makes to the stuff, majority of it's just gonna be noise, and a little bit that comes through is actually, like, they're getting a radio signal from us from the past. So if we sent it in, like, I think it's like the 60s or something like that, they're like just getting it now, whatever planet we might be sending it to, and that's if the radio signals don't get scattered. I'm butchering it. It's way more complicated than that, but, like, the chances of actually somebody picking up our signal are, like, slim to none. When we're broadcasting, us picking up their signal is slim to none, because we have to assume they progress the same way we progress in regards to, like, our technology and stuff, and assume they're actually listening while we're projecting, and that we're actually listening at the right time when they're projecting. Even with, like, all our satellite stuff, we only can pick up so much during that time. So, yeah, like I said, I'm butchering it. I'm not explaining it really, really well, but I'll truly believe it when there's, like, real, like, legitimate proof, not a bunch of, like, clips and stuff like that. But it's really easy to fall into those conspiracy theories. They're a real guilty pleasure, man. It's fun to listen to that stuff. But I love how they just shit on all of them just with that, how they did it. It was real clever, really, really fun. The show's really, really good. But I never knock anybody for enjoying conspiracy theories, though. I won't even knock you for believing them. Because some cases they are believable. It's just you can poke so many holes in them. That's the only thing. That's the only reason why I'm not like a hardcore like believer in all this stuff. Because you really can't poke so many holes in the stuff. But I still enjoy listening to it. People put these pieces together. There's a guy, I forgot his name. He was like he was a Viner at first, then he became to YouTube. For the life of me, I cannot think his name. But this dude put this entire like he put this entire conspiracy theory together just from like he just made it up. Just from a bunch of random connections. And it was really funny and really clever. Just showing how easily you can go down a rabbit hole when it comes to conspiracy theories and how everything can be connected. Alright guys, that is all for this one, man. Hopefully you guys are happy, safe, and healthy. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.